Hi planners, thanks so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. It's me, Chloe from Chloetry Plans, and this is Coffee with Chloetry. I am excited to be bringing back this series. This time it's going to be a little bit different than before. So if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you've been subscribed for years, thank you for coming back. Go ahead and hit me with a blue heart emoji if you're subscribed in the comments below. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because when you subscribe to my channel, it helps me to grow. So thank you so much for subscribing in advance. With that being said, I have quite a few notes going on here. So I'm excited to get right into this and get back into Coffee with Chloetry. I told myself that when I came back, I was going to come back when I was ready to be consistent, authentic, transparent, all that good stuff, because I wanted to give you all a rich experience. So let's not waste any time and get right into this video. Let's get started with a recap. Where have I been? What have I been doing? What's happening with Coffee with Chloetry? So the first thing I want to say is that I have been busy all summer in a way that I am not used to. We are a little bit short-staffed at my job, and my full-time job. And I was expecting to have a really relaxing summer and just like a chill summer where I could catch up with work and work on projects. It has just been a busier summer than in all the previous years that I've been working. So I was caught off guard, just a tad. I was caught off guard by that. And so because of that, I just have not had as much excitement and as much energy for social media and content creation. I also took some notes last summer and noticed that I did not get as much engagement last summer as I have in the years past. And I noticed that every summer, really, I don't get as much engagement on social media, and I find myself getting frustrated. So I think that summer, and when I say summer, I really mean from June and most of July, is a good time for me to go ahead and scale back on content. And I think I'll make that kind of my vacation time every year from social media, because it just truly is a time where lots of folks do not engage with content. And I think that's great. I think that it means that oftentimes people are spending more time with their families, they're vacationing more, they're doing things that don't require them to be on their phones. And I think that's excellent. I think that's wonderful. And it's truly not a complaint. It gives me time to do the same thing and to really strategize, work on content for fall. And that's really what I've done. So it's crazy to say, but I am prepping now for content for fall. It feels like summer just started, but that's what I'm doing right now. And so I'm excited to be creating content for fall, for that quarter, and really getting into that, because I know that that is planner season. Around September is when folks start thinking about, what am I going to do for December, January? What planners am I getting into? And I am excited to be, hopefully, the person that helps guide people through that process. So I'm really excited about that, as well as helping folks get into productivity mode with school starting very soon for a lot of people. Some have already started school, which I think is insane and criminal, but it happens. A lot of folks have already started school, and so I want to make sure I'm a resource because that's the busy time, but also that's the time I'm getting the most engagement. So as much as it'll be busy for me, it'll also be busy for others. And I think folks really want to tap into that productivity and figure out how to make things work for them for the next quarter. So excited about that. We'll get into that. And I also do have an update. I am going to be re-uploading my journaling challenge for the month of August, and so it will consist of 3 months, and so I'm excited to post that, get that going. So I will put that information somewhere here once it's available on YouTube. So I'm excited about that. And then we're gonna get into a Dream Plan Hustle recap. So as you've probably seen on my channel and on my Instagram platforms, I had a Dream Plan Hustle planner workshop and brunch. Dream Plan Hustle is my lifestyle brand where I have events, and I also have t-shirts and merch. And so I was really excited to be able to do it for the second year in a row. The first year was 2022. I just did one in 2023 in June, and it was a wonderful turnout. I really enjoyed myself. I can't wait to do the recap video and edit some things. I just kind of took some time off after that. I feel like it was an excellent turnout. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time, and I think that others did too. If you went to the Dream Plan Hustle Planner Workshop and Brunch, make sure you comment below and let me know what your favorite part of it was so that other folks can find out here on YouTube. So make sure you put that in the comments for other people to get caught up on and learn about Dream Plan Hustle, Planner Workshop, and Brunch. With that being said, I had a great time and I'm looking forward to doing more events in the future. I really appreciated everyone who helped with the event. Honestly, this year it was more challenging for me. Sponsors were not as let's get into the tea in the planner community, because that's next on my list. Tea in the planner community. Let's just get right into it. So the tea is we're in a financial crisis, kind of, sort of, in this country, in the United States of America. There's something happening. I am not a financial guru, so I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I will say that folks are just being a little more careful what they spend their money on, which is totally understandable. And therefore, I did not have as many sponsors as I anticipated. Again, I told you when I came back to Coffee with Chloetry, I was going to be transparent. So I just feel like I should tell y'all what's happening. And so because of that, it was a little more challenging for me. I had to raise ticket sales to make sure that I covered all of the expenses, and then also make sure that it was a experience that reflected the price, right? Like, you want the value to match the price. You don't want anyone to feel like they spent money and didn't get what they spent money on. So had to make sure the food was still of same quality, had to make sure the environment, the decorations, right? Like, it's all about the vibes, right? You want to have a beautiful background. You want to have beautiful table settings. You want to have beautiful photo ops, right? And so I had to make sure that happened, and then also get someone to do photography and all the things. And so I think it was easier to do this year. Like, I feel like it wasn't as stressful as 2022, but it was, I feel like I had less sponsor support, so that part was challenging. Also, just challenging trying to make genuine connections with other businesses. That's something that I'm really trying to do. I want to reach out to businesses and just like get to know them and like meet the owners and meet folks, but I understand that people are busy, and I want it to be without me asking for anything. I want to just be like, hi, I'm Chloe, this is what I do, I want to hear more about what you do, and that's it. And maybe if we can work together in the future, that's great. And if not, that's fine too. I was excited to meet that person. And so I'm learning. I didn't go to school for marketing. I didn't go to school for sales. I didn't go to school for event planning. I learned all this after college. And so I have to keep reminding myself that I am a newbie in the game. And that doesn't mean that I can't learn things. It just means that it's taking me a little bit longer to maybe accomplish these goals, where some other people might already have experience in those areas. And so comparison is truly the thief of joy. So I'm not going to make any comparisons as far as me comparing myself with others, but comparing myself to myself is the comparison that I have to work on. So check back with me in 2024 to see if I stop doing that, because I'm always competing against myself, and that's also not helpful all the time. So I'm working on that. My husband, if he's watching this, he's going to be like, yeah, work on that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Growth, right? We're trying to grow. Next up, content coming soon. So have that as number 3 or so on my list. So with content coming soon, I plan on having some fun content again around journaling. I really want journaling to be my focus on social media. It gets really challenging for me because I actually journal my actual feelings. And so I want to make sure that when I'm journaling, I keep some of it to myself, but also that I'm providing inspo for you all. And so I'm trying to find a good balance. Me journaling twice a day is just not really something that I want to do. So I'm trying to figure out a way to journal authentically while also sharing it with you all. And, I'll figure it out. I'm working on that, but I can't wait to share more journaling content with you all. Also, more fashion content. The fall is coming, and honestly, this summer for me, fashion-wise, was a bust. I've been spending the summer really working on myself, working out, eating better, and losing weight. And so I personally wasn't feeling the body image this summer. Wasn't feeling it at all. Like I said, I told you I was going to come back fully transparent. Wasn't feeling it. And so I think it's fair to say, or important, I should say, to share that. Like, when I felt good about my body, I posted all the time. Now that I don't post as much. I still post. I'm not like completely against posting myself in my current state, but I just haven't posted as much. I'm actually going to go out tomorrow and hopefully take some photos, convince my husband to take the camera and take some photos of me. We'll see what happens, okay? No promises, but if I get some good shots, I'll put them up. I do have recent photos of me on my Instagram, but like I said, I'm going to try to do more fashion content. I have some cute little outfits for the fall already. I'm already working on fall fashion content right now. So when it gets cool enough, I'll be hopefully posting some of that stuff. So that's some content that's coming soon. Next up, I'm going to talk about perfection versus progress. That is my productivity planner theme of the week. I'm going to find a better name for that. But this content is going to be available only on my Patreon. So my Patreon is brand new. I'm so excited to introduce it to you all today. I am going to be having a theme every single week on there. On YouTube, you all will get 5 to 10 minutes of coffee with Chloetry, and then everyone else who joins me on Patreon will get probably 20 to 30 minutes every single week. So I'm really excited to offer that content to my Patreon family. If you want to check out my Patreon, it will be in the description below. The tier is only $6, and this way I can support myself and just get some type of compensation for my time when it comes to creating this content on a weekly basis. It does take away from my personal life. It is something I have to schedule out and really focus on. So I'm really excited to get into it. So if you want to check out the Patreon and what it has to offer, I will have that link in the description below, and I can't wait to see you over on Patreon. We're going to talk about perfection versus progress. And I did not forget my coffee of the day. So right now I have an espresso pod. It's a coconut tropical pod. Y'all, it is so delicious. If you have an espresso and you've been on the fence about it, definitely get that pod. And I have some Starbucks caramel macchiato creamer in here, and I got my little 20-ounce Stanley going here. So I did join the Stanley Club. I'm going to talk about that over on Patreon too, because how did I get into this? Talk about that over on Patreon. I'll see you all there.